the growing unchecked power of state legislature, it is making big moves today, particularly on that issue of the healthcare service that is abortion. Peep these headlines here. First, starting out with Republicans in North Carolina, they used their supermajority to uphold a 12-week ban overruling the Democratic governor's attempt to stop the bill and preserve wider abortion access. And of course, well, we'll go to the other Carolina, and it appears that neither of them are going to be safe havens, as the southern state is now contemplating a near all-out ban after 6 weeks. And over in Nebraska, which I could not find on a map, but whatever. Well, the GOP supermajority, well, they snuck in a 12-week abortion ban into a bill that would ban gender-affirming healthcare for minors. Yeah, snuck it right on in there. And that bill goes through its final round on Thursday. So by the end of the week, we could have yet another GOP-run supermajority legislature state really curbing the right to abortion. Right now, we have a total of 19 states with a veto-proof GOP supermajority. And these regressive consequences, they are real, particularly as it concerns accessing abortion care. And also access issues are coming to a head at the federal level. Peep this headline. Yeah, a 3-judge panel of conservatives on the Fifth Circuit, they're hearing right now the challenge to accessing mifepristone today. And they're gonna be deciding whether the abortion pill that's been safely used for more than 20 years or so should be banned all of a sudden. It really just shows you that the GOP infiltrating state legislatures and also infiltrating the courts is really going to end up being the downfall for a lot of democracy and any progressive movements that we had instituted over time. And it's incredibly, incredibly disheartening, especially what we're seeing with the gutting of any kind of abortion access right now. Jessica.
It's just an absolute nightmare, Adrienne. Things just keep getting worse on this issue. It's insane when you live in a country where the majority of people believe we should have access to this care. And when you live in a state where the majority of people believe we should have access to this care. And then you have a legislator that's elected officials that have been elected through a process that is so far from perfect. I would say it's dysfunctional and it's undemocratic to have districts that are gerrymandered so severely that the legislator in a state is not at all representative of the political beliefs of the people they're supposed to be representing. And that's really what's going on in North Carolina. It's happening in South Carolina, all across the country. There are some states like Kentucky where they decided to have a referendum vote on whether or not they should make access to abortion more strict. And I went to Kentucky and I talked to a bunch of people there about how they felt about the issue. A lot of people said, I'm pro-life, but I believe there are cases where people should have access to an abortion. And putting it in the hands of the people to make that decision, I think was a really good move when it comes to strengthening trust in government, having a functioning democracy. And people said, no, we don't want to ban all abortions in the state of Kentucky. And so that's the kind of democracy we need. We don't need legislators that are so far from representative of the public making decisions that are the opposite of what the public wants. And then in many cases, it's simply a judge making a decision, just one or a few people for thousands and millions of people they're making decisions. And so this is only getting worse. I don't think this should be a conversation that's just about how do you feel about the issue of abortion. It should be how do you feel about the state of our democracy? It's in turmoil.
Yeah, because it really sounds like from what you're describing that you want an actual democracy, which would be kind of cool, especially since we're supposed to be a democracy.